There is a supernatural world that surrounds us. Sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. You'll hear stories about this, so much more, right here on Supernatural Confrontations. Today is a special day. The Pope released some new norms on alleged supernatural phenomena, and I will be getting into that and so much more. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Gold has been on an unstoppable run. It has gone up more than 81% in the last 5 years and almost 20% in the last 12 months. Folks, it's happening. Central banks are ditching the dollar and U.S. treasuries are buying more gold. The good news? It is predicted to go up more. UBS even said it might go up to $5,000 an ounce. Noble Gold Investments' phone has been ringing off the hook. Everyone wants to protect their retirement with gold, and folks, you can do the same. Noble Gold Investments can help you secure some gold to protect your future. From day one, you work with the same dedicated all-American experts. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced investor, Noble Gold Investments will make sure you get all the help you need. And this month, Noble Gold Investments will give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin if you open a qualified account. Folks, go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. We've invested, and I am really glad that we did. Okay, folks, so here we go. This is from Vatican News. So it's right from the horse's mouth. It was published on Friday, May 17th, today. And so we'll see where it goes. The norms come into force on Sunday, May 19th, the Feast of Pentecost. Wouldn't it be great if we all went up on the Feast of Pentecost? Basically, it's really a nothing burger. There's people going, oh, the Pope's going to talk about aliens and all this stuff. Nothing like that ever happened. It's a nothing burger on some level. You can go to spiritdaily.com. It's right on their front page, and you can go or just Google Vatican News and up it will come. I'm going to read some of the highlights. The document originates from a long experience of the last century, which saw cases where the local bishop or bishops of a region rapidly declared a phenomenon's supernatural nature, only for the Holy Office to express a different decision later. Other cases involved the bishop saying one thing and his successor deciding the opposite regarding the same phenomenon. So is the Vatican positioning itself to be sort of the gatekeeper of what supernatural experiences or phenomenon are real? It seems like that to me, basically, just from that one paragraph. Each event also required lengthy discernment periods to evaluate all elements in order to reach a decision on the supernatural or non-supernatural nature of the phenomena. These time periods sometimes contrasted with the urgency to give pastoral responses for the good of the faithful. And I mean, I get what you're doing. On one hand, it's good to kind of pin this down. On the other, it's like it's setting up the Vatican to be the end-all of what's supernatural and what isn't, what phenomena we're going to embrace and what phenomena we're not going to embrace. So this brings us back to this. All comes down to this, doesn't it? I want to thank Chauncey Green for creating these. We'll be selling them on the website at some point in the future, but as usual, I do digress. Here's the problem. The Vatican has already stated, the Pope already stated, that if an alien actually appeared, would they baptize him? What would they do with that? So I believe that it's being set up. All this is to set up for the coming great deception. So I look at it, the announcement is essentially a nothing burger, but what it does do is it sets the Vatican up as the end all. That, what we say goes. Well, wait a minute, what about the evangelical church, of which I'm part of? Don't we have a say in this too? Remember, the Vatican and Catholics are the greatest Christian denomination. I think it's close to, 1.2 1.2 billion people are professing Catholic. I could be wrong on that figure, but it's up there. They are the majority. So as an evangelical, look, let me stop by saying this. We went to Fatima. The Vatican has put the stamp of approval on the so-called apparitions of Fatima that happened in 1917, over 100 years ago now, right? So we did a deep dive. We created 2 films on Fatima, Strange Phenomena, which is one, and Harbinger of Deception. So Harbinger of Deception is the first film, I stand corrected, and Harbinger of Deception, first film, Strange Phenomena is the second film. We went there. It's dialed in. My friend Francisco Carrera, who's Portuguese, sent me a video of what happened basically on one of the feast days, May 13th. Upwards of 1 million pilgrims are gathered at the sanctuary. So the Vatican is holding to the official version, which they created, by the way, that this was Mary of the Bible. As an evangelical and someone who's been there and did a deep dive on this, created 2 films, we say, no, it wasn't Mary of the Bible. Sorry, Mary is the mother of Jesus. I understand that. She has a special place. But we don't look at her as the Queen of Heaven. We don't look at her manifesting in different places all over the globe. I'm not buying that for a second. And we show this in the film, the so-called Marian apparitions that happened after 1917. You want to check that out. Streaming.lamarzulli.net. I challenge you to watch the films. For $4.99, you can download Fatima 1 and Fatima 2. And look, I only have a few minutes here to tell you about it. So streaming.lamarzulli.net. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. Check it out. Go there. Spend $5 for crying out loud. Educate yourself. I challenge you to do that, especially you Generation Zers who don't want to pay for anything. Because when you guys buy the videos, it helps us continue to stay on the trail of a Nephilim and bring you information like this. So I was over there for 2 weeks. The Fatima that we uncovered is based on the handwritten documents, which are in the Fatima Sanctuary, by Father Fierro, who was the parish priest in 1917. People who looked up on the so-called miracle of the sun, October 13th, 1917, looked up and saw what? A dull silver disc. And I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. That's what they saw. That's what they stated on the record. I looked up and saw a dull silver disc. What does that look like to you? There's strange phenomena. Car windshields exploded. People had radiation burns on their faces. People's clothes were instantly dried. Car windshields exploded. There was mass chaos. Mass chaos. 2 films, Fatima 1, Fatima 2. And this is why it's so important. I now understand why we filmed Fatima 1 and Fatima 2, to show that even though this bastion of faith, the Catholic Church, declares Fatima true and real, we say, not so fast, citizen. We don't believe it was true and real. We believe something happened there, but it was of demonic origin. And that sets a precedent for what's happening in modernity. We go up, they come down. We go up, they come down. Thanks for watching, folks. Fatima 1, Fatima 2, streaming.lamarzulli.net if you want the hard copy, lamarzulli.com, lamarzulli.com. What are you waiting for? I spent, 10, 15 minutes here? I scratched the surface. You want to get the films. You can watch them both for $10. Actually, less than $10 by 2 cents. What are you waiting for, folks? What are you waiting for? There's now 30 films and 13 and a half books. We are on the trail. I am a frank supernaturalist. I will be in Colorado speaking twice at the end of June, the Prophecy Watchers Conference. ProphecyWatchers.com, ProphecyWatchers.com. Don't forget to check out our news magazine, pp&s Report, some fantastic articles. Mondo Gonzalez, Jeff Van Hatten, Fritz Zimmerman, Sandra Allison, Vicky Joy Anderson, Karen Wilkinson. They all write for the magazine, and of course I do too. Check that out, lamarzulli.com, lamarzulli.com. Thanks for watching. Remember, the supernatural world is real. Sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. Thanks so much.
Officials endeavoring to obtain all hot flying saucers.
Marcel's own words, it was something that he'd never seen before. Something from another world. In our opinion, Marcel was a patsy.
Just verbal directions that we know was bandit.
That his father was telling the truth.
He dead in the eye and he said, it really happened. And he held his hand up just like this. If they had 6 fingers, not 5.
He said they looked quite a bit like us.
Do you think your grandfather was a patsy?
100%.
A cover-up by the U.S. military.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
I can't discuss in public setting.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
He deliberately obfuscated and they lied to the American people.
When the Pentagon decided to lie about what happened at Roswell.
Because standing 6 feet away, this little being about 3.5 feet tall.
She said the nurses who were there during the crash, they're now at a convent.
The first book that Randall wrote. And he said to Jess, he said, that's not fiction.
But for everybody, I mean, this is a human thing. It's a worldwide changing, life-changing for everybody.
Was certainly not a weather balloon and not something from this earth.